Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us at In the Know. We're catching up with some of your favorite celebs, reality TV stars, and more direct from their homes. I'm your host, Gibson Johns, and today we're joined by Paige DeSorbo from Bravo's Summer House, which is currently airing on Wednesdays at 9, 8 central. Paige and I chatted about all things season 4, including what it was like having a boyfriend who didn't want to be on the show, going through her first major fight with her BFF Hannah, as well as her thoughts on all of the couples in the house. Lindsay and Karl, Amanda and Kyle, and of course, Jules and Jordan. Keep listening for my full interview with Paige. How are you, Paige?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm at home in DC. I'm trying to keep it together. It's day by day.
I couldn't be in like a 1-bedroom apartment in New York City for 2 months, so I was like, I have to get out of here.
Same. That was exactly my thought. So where are you? Are you at your parents' house and sort of
in Albany? Yeah.
Got it. What sort of your day to day looked like during the quarantine so far?
So my day is actually pretty similar to what I used to do because I like always work from home other than, going to different events or like going to meetings. But mine is pretty much the same, except my sleep schedule now is so off because I don't have to be anywhere in the morning. So I'm up like watching Netflix all night. But I've tried to keep it pretty similar.
What have you been watching?
So I watched Tiger King on Netflix. Which was mind-blowing. I was like, this is going to be so stupid. And then I was so enthralled by every single character. They were a reality show in themselves. Like, oh my God. They were so good.
No, it's literally insane. I can't get enough. I'm watching it with my family right now, and like I haven't finished yet because we're kind of waiting for everyone to watch together, but it's been great.
Yeah, I watched it all in one night.
Yeah.
I was like, what else do I have to do?
Oh my God. I've also seen that you and Hannah have been going live every night on Instagram at 10 o'clock. Tell me about that. Where did that idea come from? Was it just to kind of give fans something to watch?
So before this all started, Hannah and I were like collaborating and figuring out like if we wanted to do a podcast, if we wanted to do like some type of digital show. And we were going to start a podcast called Giggle Squad. And we had like set it all up into different segments, thought about like what we were going to talk about. And then when everyone, was staying home, we were like, we should just go on Instagram Live and do this because that way we could have people write in questions. We could talk to people about the episodes. We could talk about what we're doing all day, kind of just as an escape.
Totally.
So one day we were like, let's just do it tonight. So we started, I think it was on Friday of last week, and we've been going every night since.
Wow. Yeah, I love it. I haven't been able to watch as much because I'm sort of on the family watch schedule, so I'm sort of like I'm adjusting that.
Yeah, I totally get that. Yeah. Just Hannah and I's FaceTimes, but we've like now recorded them.
Love it. So that's exactly what the fans want, I think, right now. Right. But you have been able to keep up front page news on your Instagram but I feel like it's also probably been harder to do the looks for less these days as we're not really leaving the house. But talk to me about sort of how you've kept up your Instagram content and how you're kind of adjusting to that.
So it's so hard to do any outfits because I left my apartment in New York City, like in a hustle. I was like, oh, I don't need anything. Like I didn't even bring home makeup. Like all I brought home was my skincare and like a pair of sweatpants because I was told this is going to last like a week.
Exactly.
So I packed nothing. So I've been online shopping every day, which is pretty typical. But I've been ordering like all these different cute sweat outfits. But it's been hard to like take pictures and stuff of my outfits. I've been hiring my dad. My photographer, which he's actually doing a great job.
I love that for him.
Yeah, so he has nothing to do all day. So he's like more than happy to help. But yeah, I've been ordering a bunch of just loungewear sets.
Yeah, I literally brought one pair of sweatpants home and I need to expand the wardrobe a little bit.
I was like, Mom, I might have to go back to New York and get clothes. And she was like, oh, absolutely. Order whatever you need. And I was like, okay.
We're all coming together, so I'm glad she's supporting you right now.
Yeah.
So have you, now that you're kind of back home, are you guys watching episodes of Summer House together on Wednesday nights?
So my dad, he's so adorable. He wakes up in the morning and checks the Bravo schedule to see if it's going to be on at any time during the day, so he doesn't miss
That
it.
is so cute.
And last night it came on at 7:00, and then it was on at 8, and then the new episode was on at 9. And he was like, "This is my dream come true, like 3 hours of TV that you're on." I actually don't like watching the episodes with them because I get like nervous.
Yeah. It's like, what did I say? What are they going to show this time?
Yeah, like even though I've seen the episode, I'm still like, oh, I can't like watch it with my parents. I like get embarrassed. But they are downstairs every Wednesday at 9 watching it, and I'm watching it from my room.
Wow. Okay. So we do self-isolate during the episodes.
Yeah, we do self-isolate.
Got it. So, I mean, but I guess generally even before this started, because the season did start before we were all kind of separated. What's it been like watching the season back last summer back for you this time? This is your second go around. Like, how's it been? Because I mean, there are differences in your life this year. So, talk to me about how it's been.
So watching it back now, opposed to the first season, I'm a lot more calm. The way it plays out is the way it happened in the summer. And so like you kind of lived it. And I think first season I was really nervous, like, are people going to like me? Like what's going to happen, whatever. And now I'm kind of more about the story. And I feel like I watch it more as like a fan because like, oh my God, I like didn't know that happened, or I wasn't involved in that conversation. Like this is crazy. So I'm definitely a lot more calm and, yeah, it's just a lot less anxiety.
What are some of those things that you either like didn't know about until you watched, or you were kind of surprised to hear that you were just mentioned?
So in the last episode, before we went out to that dinner where Luke did the infamous hand motion.
Oh, that hand motion.
I know, it haunts me. I didn't know that he had a conversation with Lindsay and like had told Lindsay
Got it.
kind of gossip. So that was really interesting. And I didn't know, some things about like Jules and Jordan. I wasn't like privy to until they said something to me.
Got it.
I also didn't know how much Amanda was kind of grappling with the fact that like she didn't know if she was going to leave her job or what. So I didn't know all that turmoil.
So she wasn't really opening up about that to you guys in real time. It was sort of like a her and Kyle thing.
Yeah, and I think like rightfully so. I think that's like a conversation for the two of them.
For sure.
She didn't open up as much. Well, you'll see how it plays out, but she didn't open up as much to us in like initially about it.
Got it. And then obviously a huge difference for you this year is that last year you were kind of in this weird place with Karl. You guys were involved kind of off and on, and it was kind of a weird situation. And this year you're dating Perry, and he's not on the show other than like sort of FaceTime moments. Talk to me about navigating sort of that different kind of relationship while being on camera, but not having your significant other on camera with you. Talk to me about how that's been, or how that was sort of in filming, and sort of any feedback you've gotten about that.
It was definitely hard. I've gotten a lot of DMs like, why would you like not have your boyfriend come to the summer house? And like, people think it's like me not inviting him, which wasn't true at all. I told him he could come, any weekend he wanted to, but he's just in a very different place in his life than I think all of us are. Even though he's 37, he's Kyle's age. They're just in different places. Like I could never picture Perry drinking till like 3 a.m. and like eating snacks in the kitchen with us. He's just not that type of person. But he was very supportive in, him being like, I was 27 once and I had a share house. So I would never deprive you of that experience, because it's something I feel like comes a point in your life where like you can't do that anymore. Right. It's like appropriate. So you like want to think back on like the years that you had a share house. So he would never want me to miss out on those memories. But yeah, I definitely miss him every weekend, but it's kind of like he wouldn't want me to resent him for not going, right. And I would want to resent him for, not doing it.
Did not having him there, like, did anybody in the house criticize you for that or kind of give you, shit for that? Like, because I think part of these shows is, you open yourself up, you open up all your life, and that's sort of kind of part of the deal. But have you gotten any like criticism about that at all, or other than people DMing you? Yeah.
In the beginning, everyone was kind of like, like, where's Perry? Where's your boyfriend? And when I explained to them, like, look, it's not me. I would love for him to come and hang out with all of us. It's not me making the decision. They kind of understood it. Like, I can't force someone to do something they don't want to do.
Right.
They didn't really come at me that much for it. Like that they were mad that he wasn't coming on the show or coming for the weekend. But I definitely get a lot of DMs from people like, are you still together? Like, what's going on? Why isn't he there? So it's kind of hard.
Yeah. But I do feel like, if you can't show that aspect of or highlight that aspect of your life, like you have sort of, quote unquote, stepped it up in other ways. And I think that it's not like you weren't present. You know what I mean?
Right.
You were still very present in the house. And I think that was probably important for you to do.
Yeah. And I was very nervous too, like, because we go through different situations that are all very relatable. So there are a lot of girls that actually will DM me and be like, I am dating someone who's 10 years older. How do you deal with it when you want to still be 27 and stuff like that? So I'm glad I can connect with people on that level. So like him not coming, didn't take away my connection with fans or people that.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. So, but it does look like, obviously your friendship with Hannah has continued this season. And I think that that's sort of something that's a highlight for fans. I think right. Viewers like love your friendship together. Mm-hmm. And I think that it's just like, there's so much comedic relief in having that as part of the show. Do you feel like you get that feedback from fans? People just like kind of love watching you two specifically together.
It's so funny because when Hannah and I first met, like we knew that we got along and we knew that we had like a very special relationship. Never in our lifetime did we think that people watching the show would pick up on it as much as they have. And so for people to really love who you are naturally and who like your natural friendship is like the best feeling ever. So we have so much fun together. So we thought like, why would we not do this like Instagram live and like share our friendship? Because there's also so many girls who are like, I'm the Paige in my friendship, or like, I'm the Hannah. And so that's like really funny.
Mm-hmm. But it does look like there is something that happens later in the season. Mm-hmm. There is some sort of hiccup. I think they've kind of teased this fight between you guys.
This was definitely our first fight ever. Like, on camera, off camera, it didn't matter. This was like our first real fight we've ever had. You can tell that like we both end up crying. It gets very heated, but we are the type of people that, if we feel like the other one is doing something that we don't agree with, we're close enough to be like, hey, I think that's fucked up. But we're good enough friends to listen to the other person. So the fight was definitely about a boy, which is so not us. And I think you'll see like how we snap out of because obviously we're still friends. So I think it will be very interesting to watch how we snap out of our fight because we are so close. But it was like very real and raw and emotional. And I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but like even the people watching, like surrounding us, like our other cast members and everything, like people started crying.
Wow.
We were so upset.
Wow.
Yeah.
But that also just shows you like that it is real. You know what I mean? And even though you have gotten close since the show has started, like if this is your first real fight, it's your first real fight. And I think nobody expected you guys to kind of ever probably get to.
We didn't even expect it. Like the day we got into a huge fight, I was not expecting to fight with Hannah. And I am not someone that cries easily. Well, maybe, but like by myself, like if I'm by myself, I will like let it run, like I'll tears for days. But in a group, I'm not normally one to like cry. I'll take myself out of the situation. And I was so involved in what our fight was, what was happening, that we both were hysterical.
Yeah, no, I think that makes total sense. And I think people are just kind of intrigued to see what that moment will entail with you and Hannah. But yeah, I think that,
It's definitely a good one.
Yeah, it's a good one, and it's relatable as well, because I think
very relatable. Yeah, because I mean, everyone fights with their best friend at some point. There's no way you cannot have a fight with your friend. I think it says more about your friendship how you like come out of it, and so I think people will definitely see that how we come out of it still best friends.
Yeah, and I think honestly, at the end of the day, it actually shows how close you guys have gotten, because if you're not ever fighting with a friend, maybe you aren't going deep enough, and I think you guys have gotten to that level.
That is a great point and very true. Like, if you haven't had at least one disagreement, then neither of you really care that
much. So I do have to kind of circle back to Karl, not with you guys, but just because you kind of had that experience with Karl, and he and Lindsay have obviously had this up and down season, where we're kind of seeing both sides of it, but at the end of the day, he's kind of like toying with her emotions a little bit, it seems.
Yeah.
What was it like for you to watch that happen? And sort of, were you kind of there for Lindsay as somebody for her to lean on or kind of get advice from?
So Lindsay is probably one of, if not like the strongest woman I know. She knows what she wants. When she's mad, she's going to let you know. She is great at like communicating her feelings, and like if she is pissed off about something. So I actually, watching the episode, I didn't realize how upset she really was and how many times she cried, in her own bedroom or in her bathroom. And that made me so sad. There were definitely a few times where she was very vulnerable to like the girls, because we would all convene in mine and Hannah's bed, which was like headquarters.
It was the girls' room. I loved it.
So she was definitely very vulnerable, and I felt really bad for her, because it's really hard to go from best friends to then romantic to then this like awkward limbo of like, I can't even, text this guy now because we're so weird. And, the way I feel about Karl is I love him. I love Karl as a friend. I've always loved him as a friend. I think he's just confused.
Totally. And then I think also there was this one episode where I think it was the one where they had that kind of talk on the top porch, and afterwards Lindsay and Karl both kind of posted these Instagrams where they were just sort of like, listen, we're like good now. Like I think Karl got a lot of criticism for kind of how he was treating Lindsay. Do you think that the criticism was warranted? Do you think that because he wasn't sort of like thinking about her emotions, I don't think.
Well, here's the thing. Like, it's so crazy that we film in the summer and then it doesn't come out till like 9 months after. So like, while we were filming that in the summer and Karl was doing that to Lindsay, she was very upset, and we were all like, oh my God, what's going on? And we criticized him. We were like, you shouldn't have done this, whatever. And that was our initial reaction. So people now watching it on TV for the first time, this is like their initial reaction.
Right.
Of course, they're going to get like some Twitter comments and Instagram comments of, their opinions, which I think are totally valid because they're watching it for the first time. But Lindsay and Karl have had months and months to repair their friendship, and I think they're at a really good place now.
Good.
The fans will be at a good place in 9 months.
Yeah, they'll have that additional 9 months to get over it, and then maybe next season. We do need to talk about Jordan and Jules, because I think that this has been we didn't see much of Jordan early on, and then he has been around for the last couple weeks as him and Jules have sort of rekindled something, I think. You said you did learn a little bit more about it since watching.
Yeah.
But what, as somebody who you were sort of, you came onto the show with Jordan, you guys are friends.
Mm-hmm.
What was it like sort of in the moment with you guys as that was sort of happening, and there was sort of what's like kind of what are they kind of thing happening?
So Jordan is actually always great to have in the house, because naturally his energy is always really positive and he's always really happy. So to have him in a setting of like a fun summer house I always enjoy it. To be like in a romantic relationship with him, I'm not sure how Jules was really feeling. I think she was kind of naive, thinking like, oh, everything's fine and it's great, and the way he acts to me is like pretty normal. But then when he said to us, I'm just not feeling it, I feel like we didn't know how like lovey and connected he was being to her when they were like in bed together, so we didn't see that side. So I totally get how she was so blindsided because, we didn't know he was like being cute to her or on dates and stuff. Like we didn't really know that. So I thought it was like very interesting. And Jules was like a sweetheart. So
yeah, and I think that's sort of what we saw from him last season a little bit too, with Danielle, where he would sort of say one thing to her and then say something else to the boys. And
he's a typical boy. He changes his mind every 5 minutes. So
yeah, I'm not going to argue with that. And then also something that I am personally, I don't know why I'm so intrigued by this, but every time you guys show up on a Friday to the house, there are like 600 packages on the front steps. And I want you guys to do like a separate unboxing video just to like it's insane. What is in those boxes?
So actually, Jules, Lindsay, and Amanda order clothes to the house like for the weekend. I've never done that because I get like scared if it doesn't get delivered and then I don't have an outfit for the weekend. But they order a lot of clothes. When we have parties or like we're thinking of themes, we will order things on Amazon and just send it to the house so that we have it. We order like a whole range, like anything you're ordering from Amazon during the week and having it sent to your apartment, we're just having it sent to our house. So, and we have a lot of parties, so we need like a lot of floats and we need a lot of activities.
You guys have upped the ante on some of these theme parties. I mean, they've gotten to be a little bit next level, and I'm not complaining. I'm just saying,
I know our themes are getting what we're running out of ideas, honestly.
My favorite, I think, was Miami Vice. I loved that one. That was so fun.
I missed that one.
Yeah,
I have thought about it for months. What I would have worn to it.
Oh yeah, no, you would have killed it. Oh my God. As we kind of close it out, sort of from your memory and sort of what the kind of second half of the summer looked like last year, what else are we gonna get? Like, I know we're gonna see your moment with Hannah. What else can you kind of just tease for me about what the rest of Summer House season 4 looks like?
Lindsay's birthday is like a big thing. Obviously, she like loves her birthday, so definitely we have like a nice, like a really fun themed party for her. And Kyle's birthday is coming up, which was the most insane day I think we've ever had in the Summer House. A lot of fights, a lot of crying, and then like a lot of partying. And the Southern Charm guys came, and that was totally unexpected and random. Like I just saw them like walking in the door. Kyle had like invited them, so that was like really crazy. So I think like the next 2 episodes are going to be really insane.
And I was like, we all know that you are like a huge Bravo fan, so that's probably like that was a moment for you.
Bravo is my blood type. Like I watch every single thing on Bravo, so I know all the scoop.
Love it.
Yeah.
Well, Paige, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us in your quarantine. Stay safe, stay healthy, and can't wait to watch the rest of Summer House.